This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of the top 3 NASCAR series, run them through the N ratings algorithm, set them up by their provisional lineup, and see what the computer says will be the finishing order on race day. Up first was Xfinity ending off their first round of the playoffs, and Justin Allgaier pulled off a little bit of an upset over AJ Allmendinger, who had been perfect at this track up to this point. Still comes home in second. Austin Hilltide gives Riley Herbst making up the top 5. Noah Gragson there in the 6th position. Playoff drivers were scattered throughout the top 20. A big blow, though, for Josh Berry, who had an engine problem just after the end of the second stage. Was able to get some stage points, but we'll see if he's able to make the next round. Now it is time for the Cup event. The round of 12 will end here today at Charlotte. Roval, Logano, and Byron come around the corner, and the green flag is out. Joey Logano grabbing pole here for the first time and getting himself off to a decent lead. We'll have some issues here at this racetrack, though. It's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. making contact with Noah Gragson, hits the turn 1 wall. And a few turns later on lap 5, Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric going to the wall, and Ross Chastain also collected. Playoff drivers with some issues here. They'll all drive away, but the 9 and the 2 into the wall down in turn 3, and getting turned once again. This time with contact from behind from Chris Buescher. Elliott not off to a great start in this race. That will bring us to caution flag. We should mention the 48 is being driven by Noah Gragson. Alex Bowman staying out of this race. He will be out of the playoffs as a result of concussion-like symptoms suffered in a crash at Texas. Should note, he probably would have had to win today's event in order to make the next round how far down he was in the standings. We'll get back to the restart. So now it's 11 drivers competing for 8 spots. Chase Elliott, a 2-time winner at this track, has the best average finish at the moment. Right now, it doesn't seem too good for him as he got involved in that accident with Austin Cindric and now is at the back of the field. Ryan Blaney, the first winner at this configuration in 2018. A little bit of a lucky break as Martin Truex Jr. and Jimmy Johnson tangled on the front stretch chicane. However, not necessarily a fluke in performance, as he is the second best driver in average finish just behind Chase Elliott, averaging about a 6th place finish. He's got 2 top 5s here, and Tyler Reddick has 1. And he's been pretty good on these road courses this season. Unfortunately, not a part of the playoffs and not fighting to get into the round of 8, but still could go for good finish. Got an issue here entering turn 1. Joey Hand has a mechanical issue. He'll slide to the edge of the wall, but that will bring out a caution as he is leaking some fluid. So we'll get a restart here, and the Trackhouse drivers are way out in front right now. Doing pretty good. They've both won on road courses this season. Only a couple drivers in today's race, Ryan Blaney, Joey Logano, who have top 10 in all of the events taking place so far on this Roval. Logano's trying to make his way up the field, working his way into the top 5. And approaching the end of stage 1, Ross Chastain making a move down low on Chase Elliott, trying to take over the lead to get the stage victory. And he's going to clear him. In the chicane on the backstretch, Chastain will take the first stage over Chase Elliott. Joey Logano, Daniel Suarez, William Byron make up that top 5. Larson, Hamlin, Blaney also up there in the top 10 as Michael McDowell, Tyler Reddick, the non-playoff drivers, getting some stage points as well. We'll get to the restart, and looks like Chastain will have the advantage on that inside. However, Joey Logano might have something to say about it. Oh, trouble here entering the Speedway section. Harvick gets into Mike Rockenfeller. And those two will tangle down there as they approach turn 1 on the oval, and some contact there as well, looks like, for Loris Hesmans and Eric Jones. They come to a slide. A tight situation there. Looks like we'll get another caution flag and another restart. Logano now out in front over Chastain. William Byron, a big storyline this week as the appeals panel allowed him to gain the points back that would put him above the cut line. His fine got doubled for the contact with Denny Hamlin at Texas. However, his points got reset, and now he is back in the hunt. He is definitely competing for a chance at a spot in the next round. Last time the Cup Series competed was at Talladega, where Michael McDowell was able to grab a 3rd place finish, and he's coming to another type of track that he is really successful at, road courses, as he is running inside the top 5 at the moment. Kyle Larson, the first driver in front of him, won this most recent iteration of the Roval race. That all culminated in that championship run down at Phoenix. At the moment, it is the Penske drivers out in front. Logano looking for his first victory here. Blaney going for his second. Looks like as we're approaching the end of Stage 2, Suarez coming down for a pit stop. Might be scheduled. Might be trying to shorten up the stage. And it looks like Chastain coming down as well. It's a track-out strategy. Normally, we would see the entire field doing a strategy, but it looks like it was just those two. Looks like some team orders there. Logano is going to win the stage, followed by Blaney, Larson. McDowell's up there in 4th, and Elliott grabs 5th position. William Byron, Christopher Bell also grabbing some stage points. So into this long 59-lap stage. Logano, Blaney out in front. Blaney gets a good jump there. He might be able to get out to the lead, and it looks like he will. Byron battling Corey LaJoie in the backstretch chicane, and he goes for a slide and makes some minor contact with the inside wall. Looks like there was someone else that was having a little bit of an issue. I think that was Tyler Reddick. Christopher Bell, one of the drivers that had the best performances in the first round. The first driver to lock himself in, even though no one won their way in. He locked himself in on points, but now he is the furthest back, besides Alex Bowman. And it looks like he must win this race in order to get into contention here. Ryan Blaney is starting to fade back a little bit. It looks like Joey Logano, Mike McDowell is going to drive right by him as they approach the entrance to the Speedway. It's like the 12 car has a problem right now. We're going to keep an eye on that. And meanwhile, it looks like Michael McDowell is going to go for a move on Logano for the lead. He's going to get him on the outside of turn 2. McDowell up to the point. On a hit here on the entrance to the Speedway, Eric Almirola into the wall on his right side, makes some contact as well with Todd Gilliland. And some issues here in the middle of the Roval section. Christopher Bell with some contact after a little bit of a minor spin. That's going to put him further back in the field. Oh, and another tight situation here. 26 of Daniil Kvyat is going to go around in that same section. And it looks like we're finally going to start to get some cautions coming out here. And another problem, this time on the backstretch chicane. Big hit for the 41 car. Mike Rockenfeller also goes around, as does the 17 car. And trouble here in turn 2. Almirola pounds the wall with a little contact with the 26, potentially someone else. Man, some incidents happening here on the racetrack. We're finally going to get a caution. And Blaney is going to try to reinsert himself into this race. He was looking like he was fading, and he was dropping back several seconds. We just don't know what the problem was there. Chase Briscoe looked like he was going to be tied at the cut line, and then that Byron appeal happened, and he was below the cut line, and now he's not having a great day. He is a lap down, and it looks like it's going to be an issue for him as Austin Cindric is currently inside the top 5, trying to battle Ross Chastain for 4th place. You can see that battle happening right now out of his windshield. Oh, and another hit from the 77 car as he hits the outside wall and takes around Cole Custer. So the 41 goes for a spin, and that will bring out a caution and a stack up here in the middle of the Roval section. Denny Hamlin with major front-end damage. To this point, no one in the playoffs has dropped out of the race yet, and now Denny Hamlin looks like he has significant issues, and he is going to the garage. Hamlin is out of this race, and that could be huge for these playoffs and who gets into the next round. A problem here down in turn 3. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. goes for a spin. Daniel Suarez trying to work his way up the field. He's currently inside the top 10. At a point, he was going down for an early pit stop just before the end of Stage 2. He was able to keep himself on the lead lap and then work his way back up front. As everyone else pitted, he and Chastain cycled to the front. And Kyle Larson trying to track down Joey Logano and Michael McDowell. Looks like both the 34 and the 5 are just really out of touch with the 22 at this point unless they get a caution. Chastain also trying to work his way up there. He is in the 4th position. It just looks like all these drivers up front are going to be in this next round. Looks like they're all safe. They were pretty decent coming in. Looks like potentially a great situation for Cindric after Hamlin dropped out of the race. He needed to get a lot of points. He might not win this one. However, Cindric might be able to get in on points with Hamlin dropping out of the race. The white flag has been taken. Logano leading the way, and barring a major disaster, looks like he has this one wrapped up. Logano isn't necessarily the one we saw going for the victory here. He has one career pole besides the one that he just got on a road course. That was back in 2011 at Sonoma. One victory on a road course, 2015 Watkins Glen. But beyond that, not necessarily the driver we assume would be the dominant driver at road courses. Now, you have to consider he is one of the 2 drivers in this race that has 4 top 10s in 4 races at the Roval. That along with his teammate Ryan Blaney, but finally, he is going to go to victory lane, and he is going to lock himself into the next round of the playoffs. Joey Logano takes the checkered flag at Charlotte Roval. Well-fought victory that sees Logano go to victory lane here today. We take a look at the final finishing results, and Michael McDowell will take home the second position. That is a great run for that 34 camp, although they were definitely looking for the victory, and at one point they were leading this race. Playoff drivers Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney make up the top 5. Bubba Wallace going for that Owners' Championship in 6th place. I do not believe that he made up enough points to get into the next round, but definitely put a decent effort forward. Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, Chase Elliott also up there inside the top 10. William Byron just outside. We'll have to take a look at the final points results to see if he makes it into the next round. Christopher Bell down in 18th position. That's a little bit of a disappointing run, and it's definitely going to keep him out of the playoffs based on where everyone else was finishing. Kyle Busch also outside the top 20, and all of the SHR cars finished from 20th to 27th. Not a good run for those drivers, and Chase Briscoe might be one of those that are going home. Probably the biggest disappointment is Denny Hamlin finishing in 36th position. That might get him out of the playoffs. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoyed the race, and we will see you all next time.